Canadian Tire, at the half. Autumn starts at Canadian Tire. Now, here's Elliot Friedman.
Well, Pinball Clemens said it so well in the interview there with Scott Russell just a few seconds ago about how the Argonauts gave the Blue Bombers such a huge break by not scoring and throwing the interception after Winnipeg's own pick by Kevin Glenn late in the first half. Toronto does allow teams to stay close, and sometimes, like last week against Montreal, that cost them. The panel reconvenes. Kahari, the biggest story coming in was Kevin Glenn. How do you evaluate him?
You know, Kevin Glenn's ankle looks fine right now. I think he's done a good job of managing the game besides that interception, and by managing the game, I mean handing the ball off to Charles Roberts. I think he's going to have to do more in this second half. I didn't like the way that he underthrew Milt Stiegel on a couple of passes, and also his mobility in the pocket. Darren mentioned it in the first half. Those fast little movements that you have to make in the pocket to get away from people. I don't know if he has that kind of mobility, but definitely he's going to have to be better than 2 for 7 for 19 yards.
And the guy who he's really going to have to rely on and has been relying on is Charles Roberts. He's 15 carries for 99 yards. I mean, that's over 6 yards per carry average. And in order for the Bombers to be successful, they're going to have to keep that up during the second half.
And Sean, Charles Roberts has been doing this all season long. He's had 10 different offensive linemen. The injuries on the offensive line now, they're getting healthy. And you know what? They're looking very good in the first half.
All right, Greg, also, as we take a look at Charles Roberts in the effective first half, as Sean mentioned, almost 7 yards a carry. The big story for Toronto coming in was Arlen Bruce.
Yeah, Arlen Bruce, 2 catches for 49 yards, but true to form, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers secondary playing a lot of man coverage, and so if I'm getting man coverage and I'm looking downfield, I'm going to Arlen Bruce. But you know what? All the attention placed on Arlen Bruce by the linebackers of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers is opening up space and opportunities for the supporting cast, specifically the running backs out of the backfield, and you're seeing them getting very involved. Good adjustment by the Toronto Argonaut offense.
And a big component of Bruce's success is the blocking along the line. And unfortunately, the right tackle, Jerome, is having some challenges right now, and a way to assist him is for the running backs coming out of the backfield to kind of just give that defensive lineman a little shot as they're releasing, so you don't actually lose the running back as a pass catcher out of the backfield, but you're still giving him some extra blocking responsibility to help out an injured offensive lineman.
And one of the things I like out of Toronto right now is they're really utilizing the crossing routes. They know that Winnipeg is playing a lot of man-to-man defense, and as a result, they're bringing people over the middle. Those guys cannot chase you all the way across the field, and that was the reason why Palmer got open on that touchdown pass.
Quickly, Kahari, I wanted to ask you, Brendan Taman, the Winnipeg GM this week, said maybe we should have revisited Kahari Jones before the season. Just what was your reaction to seeing that?
I'm the man!
You know what? I think Brendan Taman is a smart man, you know? No, I mean, you know, they found out that their backups weren't doing the job, and you know, they probably need somebody proven to back up back there. And who knows if I would have done it or not, but we'll never know.
All right, well, you could have a job in Calgary because Ted Heller, the president, came over and said thanks for picking them before the game. Second half next.
See that goal? Then he should have his ref shirt taken away. Hey! Hi! I'm allowed to park here, as per the signage. Oh.
The new rear view camera dramatically improves visibility while backing up. You can install the camera yourself, and the LCD monitor mounts conveniently inside. Safety starts at Canadian Tire.
The truck's so big.
The toughest in the land deserves the toughest truck. Vote for the Warrior of the Year. GMC and CBC want to know who you think should be this year's Warrior. Log on to cbc.ca/warrior and vote for the player tough enough to win a truck. Win one for yourself. Log on to newsierra.gmcanada.com for a chance to win an all-new 2007 GMC Sierra. But like any Warrior, you can't win if you don't play. Log on now.
Let's take a look at the new Tim Hortons breakfast sandwich. The new Tim Hortons breakfast sandwich. The new Tim Hortons breakfast, wait for it, sandwich. The new Tim Hortons breakfast sandwich looks delicious, doesn't it? With eggs, bacon, or sausage, processed cheese, all on a toasted home-style biscuit. It's just $2.49.
Always fresh at Tim Hortons.
Can we go now?
The 2007 Nissan Murano, with a 240 horsepower V6 engine, great style, SUV capability, and a smooth shifting, continuously variable transmission that enhances fuel economy. Wherever adventure takes you, be it uptown or out of town, the Nissan Murano will get you there.
Back in the day. Brought to you by Nissan Versa, the larger-than-life small car.
The Blue Bombers joined the East in '87 and finished in first place, just 1 point ahead of the Argonauts. So it was only fitting that the two should square off on a cold day in Winnipeg, Walby and the Bombers battling for the East Championship. Gil Renfro, the Argonauts quarterback, found Darrell K. Smith early in the second quarter, and that set up a 1-yard run, a quarterback keeper, for the half's only touchdown. Winnipeg's Tom Clements charged his Bombers up the field in the fourth quarter, trailing by 6, but not once, twice, but 3 times the Argonauts defense picked him off, allowing Toronto to go to the Grey Cup in Vancouver. Unfortunately, Toronto would lose there to Edmonton.
Canadian Tire at the half. Autumn starts at Canadian Tire.
What you doing?
Planning Christmas.
How's it going?
Peachy.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure.
Why so confident?
I've got the Christmas book of inspiration.
What's on page 7?
Decorations.
Page 31.
Gift ideas.
What's Dad's gift?
Check page 40.
And my gift?
You'll have to ask Santa.
Ding dong. Look for the Canadian Tire Christmas Book of Inspiration in the mail, in-store, or online. 44 pages of magic to help you plan the perfect Christmas. The Christmas season starts at Canadian Tire.
Every day, countless Canadians find themselves in dangerous, even life-threatening situations. And every day, selfless men and women come to their rescue. The Royal Canadian Mint pays tribute to everyday heroes with a new 25-cent Medal of Bravery circulation coin. Find this special collectible in your change, save it, and honor our brave everyday heroes.
The Caesar by Mott's Clamato. When you see it, you get it. Ask.
Ask about it.
Ask your doctor about it.
Just ask. Ask about Celebrex.
Ask your doctor about Celebrex. He's the expert.
The Scotiabank semifinals on CBC are brought to you by Dodge and their retailers. Grab life by the horns.
Welcome back to Toronto and the Scotiabank East semifinal here at the Rogers Centre. Right now, let's go down to the sidelines and join Scott Russell with the head coach of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Scott?
Steve, here's Doug Barry. You had said earlier that you don't expect big plays or count on big plays, but you did get the interception from Hebert. How important is it to seize any momentum there might be?
Well, that one was huge. We'd done the same thing in BC a week ago, and it just killed us before the halftime, and it was just great to get that momentum, maybe shifted back, balanced out a little bit before going into this third quarter. Toronto's going to probably receive the ball, and we just did not need to give up more points at the end of the first half.
Kevin Glenn and Charles Roberts have moved the ball on the ground, but might we see the air attack come to life in the second half?
The game's still 14-6, and we'll try to stay with our basic game plan as long as possible.
Thanks, Doug. Good luck.
Thank you.
Doug Barry, Steve.
Well, the game plan, Scott, was to get Charles Roberts involved. He has certainly done that in the first half. But the difference, Darren, I think, is the passing game of the Bombers compared to that of the Argos.
Absolutely. I mean, Damon Allen has thrown the ball extremely well and used everybody as far as his receiving core, and Kevin Glenn hasn't. I mean, early on he looked very mobile, but as the half went on, I think the ankle started to bother him. That plant foot for a right-handed quarterback, and he underthrew a couple balls to Milt Stiegel that could have been big plays.
Let's take a look at the stats in that opening half. As you see, in terms of passing, 117 to 61 make that rushing for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers over the Argos. But the big difference is the passing stats. 20 yards only for Kevin Glenn. They'll have to improve upon that if they're going to get that major score that they're looking for. Westwood with the kick to get this third quarter underway in the Scotiabank East semifinal. Stokes does some dancing and gets across the 30-yard line. So when Damon Allen comes out and gets this offense going, once again, pretty good field position, a 58-yard kick and a 14-yard return from Stokes.
I see McKinley down on the field for Winnipeg. But I think Barry's point was a tremendous point, because if the Argos went in and stuck the ball in on that last drive, whether it was 3 points or a touchdown, that would have forced them out of their game plan, and they would have had to throw the ball more. But now they can stick with Charles Roberts, down only 8 points, which is 1 converted touchdown.
First dates, cocktail parties, weddings, meetings, business trips, second dates. You can wear a suit just about anywhere. Just don't always wear the same one. At Moore's, update your look with suits starting at just $159.99 and build your wardrobe without emptying your wallet. Moore's, well made, well priced, well dressed.
Welcome back to the Rogers Center and the Scotiabank East semifinal. McKinley coming off under his own steam, and Carter is coming in as his replacement. The Argos will be 1st and 10 from their own 31. They lead it 14-6. Ricky Williams, the lone back behind Damon Allen, takes the handoff up the middle. Picks up 3 or 4 yards on the play. Let's take a look at the passing chart for the Argos, Damon Allen, in that opening half.
Yeah, he took a couple chances deep, which is great for the Argos to open things up. That big one to Arlen Bruce from the corner out was so well thrown, favoring the left side a lot, but then short to the right and utilized his backs out of the backfield. I heard the guys at halftime talking about that. He's done that so well, whether it was Jeff Johnson, who's hurt, but also Ricky Williams out of the backfield, and I would expect them to continue to do that.
2nd and 7, Toronto from their own 34. Allen looking for Talbot, and it's incomplete. Talbot forced to come back to the ball, which a good receiver should do, but it was underthrown. Talbot really no chance.
Yeah, no, he had to go far enough on his route, and he was wide open. It was 3rd and 7. He had to get up to the sticks just so he could get the first down on second. Oh, it's tipped, and you see that probably had something to do with Damon not getting it there.
Not the kind of offensive series that Pinball Clemens would like the Argos to start this second half with. They're punting now. Prefontaine will get the punt away from his own 25. Good spiral. Don't forget our second CFL on CBC playoff game today, coming to you from McMahon Stadium in Calgary, where Danny Barrett and the Riders roll into town. Whitgainer, the Gopher, in tow, only allowed into the stands to take on the Stampeders. That's immediately following our Scotiabank East semifinal. We head west. And fortunately for the fans and the teams, it looks as if the weather is going to cooperate in Calgary. We are protected here this afternoon. We are inside Rogers Center under the dome. 1st and 10 for the Bombers. Roberts forced to run outside and then nowhere to go. 5 Argos surrounding Charles Roberts that time.
Well, the Winnipeg defense must have been tired of watching the Argos do this. Handed their feature back and then faked the reverse to a star receiver. So here they go. Give it to Roberts, fake it to Stiegel, but nowhere to run with Ivan right there. And then everyone else coming to help out. Steinhauer in on the tackle with Ivan. Argos do a great job defensively at staying at home and knowing what their responsibilities are.
A rare loss of 2. Charles Roberts. Kevin Glenn with time, looking deep. And he was looking for Chris Brazel way downfield, but Brazel was covered by a pair of Argos deep. So that throw is going to have to be perfect, and it wasn't.
Well, they had man-to-man coverage. A lot of pushing by Ivory. I don't know, we might see it at the end of this. A lot of pushing, a little, you know, and it's the same type of coverage we saw on Orland Bruce with Marlborough earlier, where the defensive back stays on the outside shoulder and try to throw it high. But Brazel has to win in man-to-man coverage. It's just, the quarterback has no one else to go to. You got to win on that route.
During the break at halftime, Troy Westwood was out by himself punting, practicing, angling the punt out of play. He can't do it that time. It's taken by Livingston. Livingston still on his feet. A flag is down as he gets up just shy of the 40-yard line.
Yeah, it's going to get called on Cliff Ivory again for an illegal block, but you know, he worked on it all at halftime, doing it perfectly, kicking it out of bounds, and this time he puts it in the middle of the field where Livingston can be very dangerous.
14-6 is the score. Lots of time remaining to play, third quarter here in Toronto.
There's more to Dodge Charger than legendary performance. More gas savings with a choice of 2 fuel-efficient V6 engines. More security with an electronic stability program, anti-lock brakes, airbags, and 5 stars, the highest government frontal crash test rating. Even an available DVD system. The 2006 Dodge Charger, a new kind of family car for your kind of family. Unleash the most rewarding family car on the road. Only at your Dodge retailer.
It's holiday magic for your Air Miles card this weekend at Rona. From November 3rd to 5th, Rona will triple the Air Miles reward miles for every purchase of $20 or more. Get your coupon in-store or at Rona.ca. For expert advice and more, count on Rona, the how-to people.
Okay, who took my pudding?
Thanks a lot, Barry. Team player.
It's holiday magic for your Air Miles card this weekend at Rona. From November 3rd to 5th, Rona will triple the Air Miles reward miles for every purchase of $20 or more. Get your coupon in-store or at Rona.ca. For expert advice and more, count on Rona, the how-to people.
Most playoff games are won and lost in the trenches. Our man in the trench is the Blue Bombers' Gavin Walls.
Mic'd Up, brought to you by Rogers Wireless, Canada's clearest wireless network.
Do they understand we don't have room for mistakes? Do they understand that? You owe me a play. Huh? Yeah.
Double tight. Gavin Walls. Mic'd up for us this afternoon. Double tight for the Argos. 1st and 10 from the 17. Quick pass to Orland Bruce. Bruce doing the rest, and Bruce up across the 30-yard line, and a late flag.
Well, here's the two tight end set where they utilize that man coverage, and they're going to get a face mask at the end of it with the receivers getting that running start at the line of scrimmage, and it's Arlan Bruce on Omar Evans.
Major foul, face mask, Winnipeg number 3, 15-yard penalty. Penalty will be enforced from the end of the play. First down.
And that's on Marlborough, who's actually got beat for the touchdown by Palmer earlier in the game, and we'll look at it right here at the end. Inadvertent, the 5-yard variety just caught the mask, but
First and 10, Toronto from the 45. Avery goes nowhere. Good penetration on the part of the Blue Bombers.
I was just going to say how much that two tight end and 3 receiver set has been so effective for the Argos, both running and throwing the football. But here they go back to the fake reverse with Arlan Bruce, but this time stopped a lot better by that defensive front.
Cam Warner leading the way that time for the Bombers. A loss of 3. 2nd and 13, Toronto. From their own 42. Allen completes on the far sidelines to Palmer, who has the lone touchdown in this game for the Argos, and that'll be close to a first down.
That's just too much space. Winnipeg brought pressure off the edge, a little blitz because they figure they'll complete it underneath and will make the tackle. But now Evans, I mean, he gave Arlan Bruce the respect to give him a bigger cushion. But Michael Palmer, you got to come up tighter on Michael Palmer and make that tackle. So much closer, so much further away from the first down mark.
As Darren has pointed out a couple of times in our telecast today, the difference in a playoff game oftentimes, many times, comes from the unsung hero, and certainly Palmer, one of those unsung heroes for the Argos thus far.
Yeah, it's the lone touchdown of the game Michael Palmer has in man-to-man coverage against Marlborough, but also a play like that where it puts them in a position where they can go for it on third instead of having to punt. I just think Evans gives them too much space on that one, knowing they have to throw it quickly because they're bringing pressure on Damon Allen.
Short yardage situation, and Michael Bishop, the backup quarterback, comes in relief of Damon Allen, needing less than a yard.
Yeah, here's where now when Winnipeg was in this situation in the scoring territory, they tried to go on 2 and illegal procedure. I'm sure you'll see a quarterback sneak here from Bishop.
Bishop likes to go to the right side of that offensive line, and that will be very close.
That is going to be very close. I think he's short. It depends on the mark, and it's a tough mark coming in from the side with all those bodies. You know you have it if you're past the line. If you're short, I think that's short. He's way short of that line, of the midfield line.
What a stand this would be for the Bombers if they can take over here.
He's short. He's short.
And they've done it. Winnipeg taking over on downs and getting excellent field position. Doug Berry liking every second of that.
Yeah, watch. I see there's no real push from that offensive line. Simpson diving over the top, and it's so tough to mark that ball. There's no exact science to it, but yeah, Coach Marshall proud of that defense, keeping them in the football game.
So it's 1st and 10, Winnipeg. From the 54-yard line. Bombers trail 14-6. 10-17 remaining, third quarter. Little play action. And then Kevin Glenn just fires it over the head of Chris Brazel. Let's check the passing chart of Kevin Glenn, and it's not a pretty sight.
No, not a good percentage, 2 for 7, and with that incompletion, he's going to be 2 for 8, 20 yards. You just got to help out Roberts a little bit. You don't have to light it up, but you need more than 20 yards, and you need a better than a 2 for 8 going for you. You got to complete about at least 50% of them.
2nd and 10 for the Bombers. You'd think they'd love to be able to make hay out of this great stand by their defense and put a major on the board. From the 54. Roberts nowhere to go. Roberts. Eric England is there to bring him down. We mentioned mentioned that England in the last 5 games has been hot for the Argos, and he's hot this afternoon.
Well, the Winnipeg offense has become predictable now because of their lack of ability to throw the ball. They got to depend on Roberts. And again, 2nd and 10. I think the Argos know what's coming at them because Kevin Glenn is not getting it done, and the passing game isn't getting it done for the Blue Bombers.
So the chess game between these two teams is stalled at midfield. Troy Westwood back to punt. Keith Stokes all by himself, getting set to receive this kick from Westwood.
Wow.
That's an excellent punt from Westwood. A terrific punt. It takes a great bounce. Stokes is going to try and run it out, and he does, but he only gets out to about the 3 or 4 yard line. So Damon Allen and the Argos offense will come from a hole when we come back to the Rogers Center in Toronto.
Hi, it's me, Dad. Or the bank. Daddy, I need money for the movies, lunch, the mall. I switched us to Rogers Home Phone, so when you ask for money, I will have some. See, with Rogers, we'll save on long distance, only pay for the calling features we need, and I got a sweet deal. It's your sister. Hi, honey. Shoes, sure. And you need them.
Say hello to Dad. Say hello to a better home phone service built around you. Rogers Home Phone.
This winter ski and snowboarding season is just around the corner, and now's the time to purchase your Sunshine Village Season Pass. Save almost 20% by purchasing your Season Pass today, and guarantee yourself an excellent winter on Canada's best snow. With 8 super lifts, including 7 quad chairs, 3 incredible mountains, 3,300 acres of exciting terrain, and a ski season that stretches from mid-November to late May, Sunshine Village simply has it all. Sale ends September 30th. Call 1-87-SKI-BAMF or visit skibamf.com for details.
A 59-yard punt from Troy Westwood, and maybe a mistake on the part of the Argos.
Yeah, great punt by Westwood. I think the mistake is originally not being deep enough that you can catch that football. Now once it rolls into the end zone, now you're put in a bind, but certainly at this time of the game with 9:21 left in the third quarter, that 1 point doesn't loom as large. I know it's 14-6 and he's thinking, hate for it to be 14-7 and just a touchdown, but field position so important. Now they got to start within their 4 instead of the 35-yard line.
1st and 10 for Damon Allen and the Argos. They give to John Avery, and Avery picks up a couple, gets out to about the 6 or the 7-yard line. Well, let's go down to Scott Russell, get a Jeff Johnson update. Scotty?
That's right, Steve. Jeff Johnson made a great play in the first half, which ultimately led to the touchdown by Michael Palmer. And then Johnson came off the field. Here's the play he made. Nice catch and run by Jeff Johnson. Came off, went to the dressing room. He had the left heel iced, and Aaron Brooks, the head athletic therapist for the Argos, tells me that Jeff Johnson is done for the football game.
Yeah, not good. You see him not putting the pressure on it with the ice on it. That's, you know, hate to think about what that is, but most likely a breakdown there in his foot somewhere, which hurts him because Jeff Johnson's a great football player that was helping him in the first half.
2nd and 7, Toronto. From their own 7. Damon Allen looking for Palmer. And Malvo does a good job of staying with Palmer step for step, although I'm not sure that Palmer could have reached that ball.
No, man-to-man coverage, though, and Palmer beat him off the line of scrimmage to the right of your screen watch. I mean, that is a little more vertical, and I think Palmer had a chance for that one. It's such a dangerous coverage to be in with all that field behind you. To be in man-to-man and just depend on your free safety to cover the whole field.
Does that not make that safety look like it might have been a better call? Or lack of on the...
Yeah, for Winnipeg to take advantage of that, they needed to hold him. Now they're going to get great field position.
And they're not going to give up the points. They punt it away. Albert Johnson and he steps out of bounds at the 43-yard line. Don't forget our Warrior of the Game. Log on to cbc.ca/CFL in the second half to vote for the player you think showed the heart and determination of a Warrior. We'll show you the winner in our post-game show. Number of players certainly high on my list. How about the Argos' Eric England?
Yeah, England's played great. Of course, Charles Roberts has played extremely well for Winnipeg. And some, as we mentioned, unsung heroes stepping up with Talbot and the receiving core for the Argos. But again, that Stokes bringing it out has given Winnipeg great field position. They need to capitalize, and they need to do it right now.
First and 10, Winnipeg from the 43. They give it to Roberts. And again, Eric England answers the bell and makes the stop on Sir Charles.
They're just getting so much penetration off the offensive line, and we'll watch England just breaks inside and disrupts the whole play. You got to firm up the gaps between the center and the guard, and the guard and the tackle to be able to run up the middle effectively. And you get people shooting to those gaps, you never get off the ground with the running game.
A passing situation for the Bombers, and Kevin Glenn has not completed the pass since the opening quarter. Glenn passing, and he is complete this time. Derek Armstrong. And Armstrong has the necessary yardage for the first down.
To be effective against match coverage, as we watch the replay, I always thought you had to work to the weak side, which is with the ball on the left hash, that's the left side of the field, and that's what Winnipeg did. They put 3 receivers into the boundary, and they worked crossing routes and all sat in the zones against Mats. I think that's how you beat the Argos secondary, going to the weak side.
From the 31, the Bombers first and 10. They give to Roberts. Roberts running into a brick wall and then bouncing off, which he does so neatly, and forced to go to the right side to pick up a couple.
Yeah, they've really shut down Roberts in this early on in the second half. We're halfway through the third quarter here. They're taking away what they did most effectively. That was Roberts, and they're forcing Kevin Glenn to beat him. Kevin Glenn's going to have to step up with that receiving core and make plays in the second half for the Blue Bombers to have a chance.
There's a comparison. Roberts in the first half, Roberts in the second half. Not good if you're a Blue Bomber fan. Second and 7. Roberts on his feet, and he gets the first down.
Well, this is what we talked about in the first half that no other team in the CFL can do. They can't be in a second and 7 and even contemplate running the ball consistently. But Winnipeg can, because they have a guy back there that's led the CFL in rushing 3 of the last 4 years. Just a hard, tough runner, and he picks up a big first down to get down to the 17-yard line.
20 carries for Sir Charles, 107 yards so far. First and 10, Winnipeg from the Argos 18. Roberts again. A little bit of daylight. Down to the 10-yard line.
Well, you see the difference in the last 2 runs compared to when he wasn't running, where he didn't have any room early, where they were penetrating those gaps, which are between the guard and center. Watch up the middle. No one gets through it this time. Man on man, on O'Shea, on Ivan, driving, keeping back. That's the key. Watch England up top. England is all over the place today. I'll tell you, you nailed it on the head. He's out to play today.
Second and 2, Blue Bombers. Again, it's Roberts. Roberts down to the 1-yard line.
Out here.
Coach Barry talked about it, didn't he? To Scott at halftime. We're not going to get away with what we do well. We run the ball well. It's what we do. And you see Roberts, he's just so tough, in this offensive line has corrected what they were doing early in the third quarter. Getting a body on a body, and just as Val St. Germain said before the game, let's just give the guy a crease and Charles Roberts to do what he does.
First and goal to go, Winnipeg. From the 1. Guess who's going to get the ball? I know it, you know it, so do the Argos. Charles Roberts, touchdown, but a flag is down.
I think most likely that's usually an offsides on defense, but you know, maybe someone from Winnipeg moved to draw him, but
offside. Toronto 37.
There's the touchdown they needed, and it's again back to Coach Barry. It's 14-6, or was 14-6, with just a touchdown now. And if I were them, I'd also kick the extra point. Shea not too happy. He should be happy they didn't catch the leg whip tackle he had earlier in the first half. Anyone offside?
Check their lineup.
I don't know where you would see someone, oh, maybe a little bit at the end. But hey, doesn't matter anyway. Roberts jumped up and over for the touchdown.
Here's the extra point attempt from Troy Westwood. It is good. So the Bombers moving up on the Argos with 3:21 to play, third quarter.
You're one sick puppy.
The all-new Dodge Caliber. Show 'em what you got.
Some things you just can't copy, like Wendy's original spicy chicken sandwich. A big, juicy, seasoned whole breast filet, covered with our own fiery blend of peppers and spices for more meat and more heat, so you can do what tastes right.
Last night, you watched the entire trilogy. Twice. And you'll do it again today. Why? Because you can. With Blockbuster, there's no late fees. Plus, this hottest new release is guaranteed to be there. Another way Blockbuster makes your movie nights better. Blockbuster. It's your time. Take it.
Some things you just can't copy, like Wendy's original spicy chicken sandwich. A big, juicy, seasoned whole breast filet, covered with our own fiery blend of peppers and spices for more meat and more heat, so you can do what tastes right.
Welcome back to Toronto, where you're watching the Scotiabank East semifinal of CFL on CBC.
Yeah, let's take a look at the touchdown, because I'll tell you what, Mike O'Shea is just fuming. You see Roberts go up and over. I don't see O'Shea anywhere. You know what? The offensive line for the Blue Bombers, Jones, St. Germain, Kahn, Abu McGrath, and Wilson, have just picked it up because they had people going through the gaps early in the third quarter. But boy, they refocused themselves and put together a great drive right there.
Westwood with the kickoff. Following the score, Arlen Bruce at 25. And comes up just shy of the 30-yard line. What a game Roberts has had thus far. And this is the drive.
Yeah, he's had a great game. And again, it was all Charles Roberts. They had the one completion to Armstrong to keep the drive alive. But again, the offensive line, those issues have been taken care of, and they got body on a body and just giving Roberts that crease to let him do his thing.
Let's go, D, let's go, D. Ate up a lot of time, 4 minutes and 32 seconds. Let's see if the Argos can answer that major score from the Blue Bombers. They are 1st and 10 from their own 28. Avery gets out of the grasp of the first Blue Bomber, but he can't get away from the next three.
You know, football and coaching is all about adjustments. This play had huge holes in the first half with the off tackle for Avery or Ricky Williams in the fake reverse. And now the defense has made an adjustment. They've taken away those gaps, and they're there, and they're taking away the run. And that's Coach Marshall. I mean, you go into halftime, you see what was beating you, and you correct it, and you make the adjustments.
Future head coach in the CFL. Is he due? Forced out of the pocket. Flag is thrown. That's a little bit of the vintage old Damon Allen.
Well, that's something we haven't seen a lot of this year, though, and that would have come back anyway, but they'll decline that and make them punt. But they used to see Damon Allen do that a lot, and, 2nd and long and pick up a first down. And right on cue, look at this. Staying in the pocket in 2003.
Holding. Toronto 65. Penalties decline. Third down.
Out of every 6th play, he'd drop back the pass. He would rush one of those. And that stayed consistent 03, 04, 05. Well, this year it's 13 times. It's more than double that. And that was what Damon Allen did so well. You see Coach Rita talking to Damon Allen.
Adam Rita taking over as the Argos offensive coordinator following the firing of Kent Austin here in Toronto at midseason. Prefontaine with the punt. It's a low spiral taken by Albert Johnson on his knees at the 35, and he gets out to about the 40-yard line. So the Bombers will take over 1st and 10 with good field position. Wednesday, catch an all-new Dragon's Den. Hopeful entrepreneurs pitch to wealthy investors. Will their ideas come to life, or will their dreams be shattered? Dragon's Den, Wednesday at 8 o'clock on CBC television.
Well, they hung in there. They used their running game, and now they're right in there, 14-13, and you can feel the momentum has gone over to Winnipeg. Can they sustain it? And you know how they're going to sustain it, just as you said. It's going to be a big dose of Charles Roberts.
1st and 10 Blue Bombers from their own 39. Good play action. Buys Glenn some time. Has a man open. It's complete. Stiegel.
He's gone.
Stiegel looking for that extra gear, and he's shut down of bounds at the 11-yard line.
You know, we talked about this before the game also, that they're going to depend on Roberts, right? He's going to do the bulk of the work, but that 1 or 2 or 3 plays from your receiving core, you're going to need to make them. And here it is, who else but Milt Stiegel with a 60-yard reception, doing it off the scramble, just getting open, working against Orlando Steinhauer. Boy, when he's in the open like this, I naturally think he's gone, but had the angle and they forced him out of bounds. Huge play by Kevin Glenn, who, you know, at the time he was 2 for 8 a while ago, but now 2 big completions, and that one to Milt Stiegel.
1st and 10 Blue Bombers from the 11. Roberts finds a hole. Roberts, TD.
Well, I guess they came out and they answered the question whether they could keep the momentum. Just a huge completion. Glenn to Stiegel. Roberts finishing it off, and wow, they're in great position now. And this all goes back to that last drive for the Argos in the first half. That interception looming bigger and bigger, because now Roberts and this offensive line is looking like they take control of this football game.
And the great defensive stand by the Bombers defense on that 3rd down gamble from the Argos, looming ever bigger in this picture. Point after is good from Troy Westwood, so the Bombers jump in front of the Argos here in Toronto.
Every Mars bar made in Canada is now peanut free. So more people are free to eat a Mars.
You're watching the Scotiabank East semifinal, the CFL on CBC.
Well, this offensive line has done the job. Let's watch him behind Val St. Germain, the left guard. And Obi Khan at center, and just the quick cutback. See Reginald in there. I mean, everyone, they've just taken over this football game and given Charles Roberts that crease he needs. And the one big play, right? Not a lot of Milt Stiegel this game, but boom, out of the blue, he steps up and makes that huge 60-yard reception to put him in position to get the touchdown to go up 20-14.
Arlan Bruce and Keith Stokes back to take this kickoff from Troy Westwood. Stokes inside the 15, at the 20, 30, 40, still on his feet, still going. Great effort by Keith Stokes.
What a huge return, and again, special teams jumping up. I'll tell you what they did. It was kick to Stokes, and all the way on the other side was Arland Bruce. You see people running away from Stokes. Did you see that? Because they were all worried about him turning and throwing to Arland Bruce, who had swung way wide on the other side. It's the same concept as that fake reverse. You know, you put Arland Bruce, people are going to pay attention to him, and Stokes had one guy to beat, and he did it and put him in great field position.
A 44-yard return from Stokes, giving Allen and the Argo offense excellent field position. 1st and 10 from the 52-yard line. Allen over the middle, and it was in and out of the arms of John Avery.
Back to the running backs for Damon Allen. I think that's your best matchups. Either Ricky Williams or John Avery, and just out of the reach of John Avery on this one. Would have been a great catch. But a well thrown ball. You want it away from the defender, out where only your guy can get it. McKinley back in the game after the injury and coverage. That's a matchup, boy. As an Argo guy, you got to love that. Avery on McKinley. You got to think you win with speed there.
2nd and 10, Toronto. Bombers are coming. Allen forced to run for it.
Wow.
And he maybe have picked up the first down. It'd be close.
That's Damon saying, you know what? It's the playoffs, but he took a shot to his back. Good to see him get up. But hey, it's time. I gotta tuck it and go if nothing's there. And very close to the first down. See, I think this is what you see as opposed to the regular season where we showed the stat 13-1 when he drops back, he would run it. In the playoffs, I think you'll see Damon do this more because now it's all right. I just got to go.
Well, once again, the Argos are shy of the first down by inches. Last time they tried this, they brought in Michael Bishop. He went to the right side of the offensive line, came up short, and the Argos turned it over on downs. So once again, it is 3rd and inches from the 43-yard line of the Blue Bombers. This time, Damon Allen stays in, goes straight ahead on the quarterback sneak, and should have the first down.
Yeah, this time they go first sound too, which means get set, and they go right off the first sound.
We're heading to the 4th quarter in a good one here at the Rogers Center in Toronto.
There's more to Dodge Charger than legendary performance. More gas savings with a choice of 2 fuel-efficient V6 engines. More security with an electronic stability program, anti-lock brakes, airbags, and 5 stars, the highest government frontal crash test rating. Even an available DVD system. The 2006 Dodge Charger, a new kind of family car for your kind of family. Unleash the most rewarding family car on the road. Only at your Dodge retailer.
Let's take a look at the new Tim Hortons breakfast sandwich. The new Tim Hortons breakfast sandwich. The new Tim Hortons breakfast, wait for it, sandwich. The new Tim Hortons breakfast sandwich looks delicious, doesn't it? With eggs, bacon, or sausage, processed cheese, all on a toasted home-style biscuit. It's just $2.49.
Always fresh at Tim Hortons.
When you take that field today, you've got to lay your heart on the line. And if you do that, we cannot lose. The plane crash is our past. We cannot forget that. We're not honoring them. We're disgracing them. This is where we have come from. This is how we got here. This is who we are today. We are
Marshall. Starts Friday, December 22nd.
Covering up.
Someone is keeping the truth from me.
Their son went missing.
After the 5th day, I knew that there's something wrong.
His fate shrouded in mystery. Uncovered 14 years later. The Fifth Estate. Iceman. Wednesday at 9 on CBC.
Bullied, ripped off, fed up.
I want out of my contract.
David versus Goliath. Wendy Mesley takes your fight to company headquarters.
Solid case, big fight.
Underdogs.
Who will win? Who will lose?
Premieres Thursday, November 16th on CBC.
Welcome back to the Scotiabank East semifinal. 1st and 10 Argos from the Bombers' 42. Allen with a strike. And it's complete just outside the 30-yard line. Keith Stokes, one of those unsung heroes, doing the job for the Argos.
Yeah, Stokes has stepped up and been a great receiver. Rushing yards, 156 for Winnipeg, 81 for those Argos that needed to run the ball well today. But Allen's played well, thrown for 188. And I think the passing, which was 20 yards for Winnipeg with Glenn in the first half, that granted they got 60 in one chunk to Stiegel, but huge to be at 91 yards now.
They spot the ball at the 31. Toronto 1st and 10. Allen underthrows. He was looking for Talbot, wasn't even close. Maybe Talbot was supposed to make the move to the sidelines, cut left. He went straight down the field.
Well, they're getting that man-to-man coverage, and they're throwing these hitches and completing them. And I don't think Talbot and Damon Allen have been on the same page all day today. We saw it in the first half where he was open a couple times and couldn't see the ball. But you need to take advantage of the soft coverage Winnipeg's playing in man-to-man, and just not on the same page again, Talbot and Damon Allen.
Bombers lead 20-14. Early 4th quarter, 2nd and 10 Toronto. Allen had his man open, but it was deflected before it could get to Soward by Charlton.
Nice defensive play, slightly underthrown, but also had Michael Palmer right underneath, and it's coming right at you right here. You see 77 curl up, was open, but he's tried to go up the sideline to Soward and just underthrown a little bit. Needed a little more arc on that ball, and it's a touchdown because nobody's behind him.
So Prefontaine will come on and attempt the field goal to close the gap to 3 points. It's a 38-yarder. Prefontaine good on 2 of 3 so far. And this one is good. So Toronto now down by 3 points with 13:29 to play in the 4th quarter. And don't forget, the winner of this game will move on to face the Montreal Alouettes next Sunday at the Big O in Montreal. And if you're in the Montreal area and want to see that game, call 1-800-361-4595 or log on to www.montrealalouettes.com and scoop up those tickets, whether it's Winnipeg or Toronto. I got a feeling it's going to be a good game.
It's going to be a great football game, and I'll tell you what, Montreal is going to have their hands full with either team it is. Both great defenses, and both have shown they can move the ball offensively.
1st and 10, Blue Bombers from their own 35 following the field goal. They fake a handoff to Roberts. Kevin Glenn going deep. Armstrong with the catch. He's stretched out and comes up with it.
Armstrong has played tremendously. He's only played in 5 football games down to the end of the year, but had 305 yards receiving, has become that alternative to Milt Stiegel. And wow, watch this play. Talk about that huge play at the big time. He's battling up the sideline with Younger. A little bit push off, but makes a great catch over the shoulder.
47 yards. The strike from Kevin Glenn to Derek Armstrong. And that takes a lot of heat off the other Bombers receivers when Armstrong is playing like that. Winnipeg now 1st and 10 from the Argos 28-yard line. Roberts running outside. Argos close it down pretty good, and Winters leading the charge to take down Sir Charles.
Yeah, they controlled Charles on that one, but you talk about taking pressure off. It's taking pressure off Charles Roberts. If you can complete a couple big ones, that's going to open things up for Roberts, and you know he doesn't need much of a crease. Nice tackle by Chuck Winters, filling in for Antonius Bonner today at outside linebacker.
Bombers 2nd and 9 from the Toronto 27. They lead by 3, 20-17. Time for Glenn. He's got a man open. Brazel, touchdown, Winnipeg.
Oh, wow. The receivers have stepped up, and Kevin Glenn has stepped up in the second half. You're going to take Charles Roberts away from us? Well, we'll take advantage of that by going deep. Did it with Armstrong, and here's Brazel just over the top. You know, he just got the defense. Parker, I think, on that one. Does he get his feet down? There's one, which is really all you need. All you need is one, but he does the second one just for gravy right there. But it came too flat underneath. Needed to take a more vertical angle to make a play on that ball.
And Westward is good with the point after. And the Bombers lead 27-17.
The Scotiabank semifinals on CBC are brought to you by Subway Restaurants. Subway, eat fresh.
Hey, Chris, what's up?
It is with heavy heart that I must resign my position as a sandwich artist.
You're kidding, right? You can't leave. You're my guy, right?
Employees aren't eligible for the Good Stuff giveaway.
Chris, it's just a contest.
Set me free, Gary.
Wow.
The Good Stuff Giveaway. It's your chance to win cars, trips, electronics, and other good stuff. Visit freshenergy.com to enter.
Don't.
Arnold. Arnold. Arnold.
I got it in my name. Thank God I got it in my name.
Welcome back to Toronto, where you're watching the Scotiabank East semifinal of CFL on CBC. The Bombers up by 10.
Yeah, here's the replay, and watch the angle Parker takes as Kevin Glenn throws this great ball. You see Parker right there. If we could freeze it, took the angle too flat, and the ball's going to be thrown right here over top, and the free safety's nowhere in the play. What a great ball by Kevin Glenn with those struggles in the first half to come back and make the play, the throw to Armstrong, the throw to Stiegel, and then Brazel for the touchdown. 3 different guys, all huge plays.
We got a lot more plays to make, baby.
Well, let's see if the Argos can respond to that challenge from the Blue Bombers. Keith Stokes at 15, gaining speed, looking for room on the outside, still on his feet, and crosses the 30-yard line before McKinley is there to drag the Argonaut down. Not bad field position for Damon Allen and the Argos offense.
There's a little change from first half to second half. I mean, Glenn has completed some big balls, mostly those 3 passes to Armstrong, to Stiegel, and then a touchdown to Brazel. I'll tell you what, the Argos are down 10, and their playoff hopes alive. Their Grey Cup hopes all riding on this, and they're not a team that scores a lot of points. They're going to have to throw the football now.
10:52 to play. Fourth quarter. Allen has Talbot wide open. Talbot tried to spin and get away from Bean, but Bean wasn't fooled on that play. But he does get out to the 36-yard line.
Now, I think at this point, and what we just saw right there is the Bomber defense and Coach Marco playing a lot more zone. Because now you're not going to put as much pressure. You want to sit back, let them complete the underneath routes, make them chew up a lot of the clock, because you're up 10 points.
A gain of 6. 2nd and 4, Toronto. From their own 37. Allen over the middle to a wide open Skeet Stokes. And Stokes has the first down. Hebert made the tackle.
I love it, Steve, because as soon as I say something, they go and do the complete opposite, and they blitz them, and they put pressure on them, and Damon finds Stokes wide open. Stokes has played well. I mean, for a guy that wasn't a receiver coming into this league, he's really stepped in and played great slot back for the Argos.
1st and 10, Toronto from the 49. Allen going deep, looking for Palmer, and it's out of reach for Michael Palmer.
Well, we haven't said Doug Brown's name a lot today, but Damon Allen just got a nice close conversation with Doug Brown, who's nursing that sore shoulder. What's the end of this? Hello, I'm here, still playing. You know, Brown's responsible for occupying those offensive linemen for most of the game and freeing up Simpson to make all the tackles. But boy, a great football player. Only about 90% with that banged up shoulder, but.
And he was the more doubtful of the two throughout the week, Kevin Glenn and Doug Brown. But both have answered the bell and are playing well for the Bombers. Allen with time, looking for R.J. Soward, and Soward was going one way, the ball the other. Soward couldn't get back to it, incomplete. So the Argos will have to punt.
This for a professional football team should be such an easy passing catch. He's wide open, sit down, pass the first down, and just hit him. There's nobody around him. You know, whether it's Soward or Damon, I thought Damon just reared back and gunned that one. Well, really, all he had to do was put it on his numbers, and they move the chains, and they get the first down.
Prefontaine with the punt. Albert Johnson at the 15. Now at the 20. And comes up to the 24-yard line. So when we come back, the Bombers, who have a 10-point lead, will go to work on offense.
The toughest in the land deserves the toughest truck. Vote for the Warrior of the Year. GMC and CBC want to know who you think should be this year's Warrior. Log on to cbc.ca/warrior and vote for the player tough enough to win a truck. Win one for yourself. Log on to newsierra.gmcanada.com for a chance to win an all-new 2007 GMC Sierra. But like any Warrior, you can't win if you don't play. Log on now.
This V6 gives you great towing and hauling capabilities. Perfect. Why don't we climb in and I'll point a couple things out? All right.
You'll notice right away how roomy the interior is.
Yeah, very roomy.
There's also extra storage under the back seat.
Back there?
Yeah, back there.
The Toyota Tacoma. You're tougher the moment you climb in.
Just a reminder, catch all new episodes of The Hour next week. Guests include the author, John Grisham, and Canadian rock superstar, Tom Cochrane. Plus, Rick Mercer visits the newsstand. That ought to be fun. The Hour with George Stroumboulopoulos. Weeknights at 11 o'clock on CBC. 1st and 10 for the Bombers. From their own 24-yard line. They lead by 10. Play action. And then Regenball was the intended receiver, but Kevin Glenn really had no time at all.
Well, let's take a look at Winnipeg and their touchdowns. Settled for field goals early. There's Roberts on the 1-yard plunge. Guess who again? Roberts, and here's the big throw. Kevin Glenn to Brazel for the touchdown. I thought they'd come out and really try to eat up some clock and go right back to Charles Roberts. So it's surprising they would throw the ball on first down.
2nd and 10 now for the Bombers from their own 24-yard line. Kevin Glenn puts it up and out of reach for the intended receiver. Not even close.
No, not. And we didn't see Charles Roberts touch the ball in a time where they're up 10, 8.5 minutes to go, and they needed to eat up some clock. And I was curious, the clock on the first incompleted pass, for some reason they started the clock after that, and it ate up about 15 seconds, where usually it stops and doesn't start to the next play. So I don't know what that's all about. But anyway, they're 2 and out when they could have really put away the game right there.
That look on the face of Sir Charles. Why not me?
Yeah.
Why not give it to me? I've done it all day. And you're right, we're up by 10. We're in the 4th quarter. Possession and the ability to kill the clock is the key. Troy Westwood getting set to punt. Good high spiral. Stokes forced back inside the 35-yard line. And gets the 32. Hebert is there to pull him down. Michael Bishop's coming in to quarterback. The Argos. Was that the result of that Doug Brown hit, do you think?
Well, it could have been a combination of the Brown hit or the last incompletion. I think Damon's fine. I think it's playoff time, and we need to move the football pretty seriously right now. We haven't done it for a long time, so we got to turn to somebody else. You know, that throw to Soward where Damon just gunned it when he didn't have to gun it and he was wide open, I think spelt the end of him, and now they're going to see what Bishop can do.
Bishop
wide open.
Guns it. Arland Bruce still on his feet. Oh, it's a foot race, and Bruce is going to go the distance.
Wow. Well, I don't know, Steve. You think it was a good decision to bring in Bishop? I'm not sure.
Stroke of genius.
Oh, yeah. And why not? You're going to come into the game, go to Arland Bruce. You know what? They saw, as I talked about, instead of man-to-man, what they were playing a lot earlier in the football game, it was zone coverage. But boy, no one covered the corner route from Arland Bruce. Watch him find that seam. Again, Marlborough over top with responsibility, and what a job by Bruce staying up after taking the hit and then going the distance. Maybe he is G-R-E-A-A-A-T.
Prefontaine with the point after. And the gap is closed to 3 in an Eastern semi-thriller.
Good Stuff giveaway from Subway Restaurants. Win 1 of 3 2006. The Good Stuff giveaway from Subway Restaurants. Win 1 of 3 2006 Kia Sorento SUVs. Costa Rican getaways with Gap Adventures. Plus a cavalcade of prizes from Sony, Columbia, Sport Check, and more. For contest details, visit freshenergy.com. The Good Stuff giveaway from Subway Restaurants. Win 1 of 3 2006 Kia Sorento SUVs. Costa Rican getaways with Gap Adventures. Plus a cavalcade of prizes from Sony, Columbia, Sport Check, and more. For contest details, visit freshenergy.com.
East semi. What a game this has turned into. The Argos now within 3 points of the Bombers.
Watch the move by Arland Bruce. The patience, attention to detail as a receiver. That head fake right there. made Marlboro go inside, and then his toughness took over. Kelly Malvo was a little flat, not getting deep enough to help out, but boy, he beat Marlboro again. That's who Palmer beat for the touchdown.
And guess who's on the kickoff team? Ricky Williams. Seeing a little special teams action. Albert Johnson goes outside. Flag is down, and Johnson knocked out a play at about the 30-yard line.
Ricky Williams getting up off the ground. I don't think he's covered kicks since his freshman year in Texas, probably. Someone laid him out there, but hey, it's playoffs, right? Put your best athletes out there. Go make a play.
Well, he snuck onto special teams last week against Montreal, the opening play of the game, and caught pinball by surprise.
Holding, Winnipeg number 56, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Holding against the Bombers. Moving it back to the 15-yard line. Don't forget our second game today, the Scotiabank West semifinal. Henry Burris and Kerry Joseph getting set to battle each other at McMahon Stadium. You can see the snow on the ground, but the weather forecast is a good one, so it should favor both the passers, Burris and Joseph. Roberts still on his feet. Big hole. Fumble. Loose ball. First fumble of the game. And the Argos take over.
Wow, this is great because I talked about Antonius Bonner being out of the football game, and maybe it's going to be a long, cold winter for the Argos, but who makes this play on Charles Roberts? No one else but Chuck Winters. Watch him strip the ball at the end of this nice run. There's Winters right there. Gone. Steinhauer pouncing on it. What a great play by Chuck Winters. You know, that's just so heads up. He had picked up a first down, going long. You might as well take a chance and try to rip it out there. And there's a lot of great plays in this football game, but as of now, that's the play of the game.
The clock is running. Just over 6 minutes and 50 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. Toronto trailing by 3. They're first and 10 from the 33-yard line. Michael Bishop in a quarterback. Completes it to Ricky Williams. Williams gets out of one blast and is brought down inside the 15.
There's a quarterback that's been watching the game from the sideline. A backup quarterback that had his head in the game. He knows where to go with the football. The backs have been open all day. Go back to the running back. Ricky Williams one-on-one with McKinley again, and he just beats him with speed. Nice stiff arm, just like his Heisman he got in the college days. Goes up the sideline.
Damon Allen can only stand and watch. He's out of the game for now. Bishop is in. The Argos first and 10 from the Bombers' 15. Bishop through the end zone. Sauer, touchdown!
Who is this quarterback? Wow! Michael Bishop. On this one, it's his elusiveness and mobility. You know, there's nothing left to do but celebrate.
It was only minutes ago that the Bombers were up by 10.
Yeah, you see Michael Bishop step up in the pocket, set himself and buy some time. And when you get a lot of man-to-man coverage, when you do that, eventually your receivers are going to break open. And Bishop bought that time and hit him.
31-27, the Argos back on top.
Welcome to Canadian Stadium. For the Blue Bombers, Milt Stiegel, Kevin Glenn, and Wesley, a War Amps champ. Wesley lost his arm in an accident. Now he's the go-to guy for safety.
Whatever game you play, play safe.
A message from the Blue Bombers, the CFL, and the War Amps.
A pair of TDs in a minute and 45 seconds, and the Argos are back in front.
Let's
Well, it's Michael Bishop buying time. Looking left, coming back to the right, stepping up. There's Doug Brown. How you doing? You know, there's Barbaro again on coverage, beat, but Bishop's 3 for 3 for 111 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then he shows off his arm again, throwing it in the stands. What a change. I mean, that surprised me that Damon Allen got pulled and Bishop came in, but wow.
And he bought time for himself on that pass. Moved up and through the pocket to get the pass away, something that we didn't see Damon do a lot of.
No, and so important when you get a heavy dose of man-to-man to buy time, give your receivers time to break open.
Prefontaine kicking to Albert Johnson III. And Johnson is taken down. Terrific special teams pursuit by the Argos.
Well, here's the drive, which starts with Chuck Winters. I mean, they went back to Roberts, the man, and he's picking up the yards, but Chuck Winters rips it out. Steinhauer jumps on it, and then Michael Bishop goes back to Ricky Williams, who's been open all day out of the backfield. And here's the touchdown to R.J. Soward. I mean, just all alone in the back of the end zone. All touchdown passes have had Marlboro in coverage, so that's obviously the guy they're going after.
You can't get much better than that. That's the backup quarterback. Charles Roberts through the middle. Can the Blue Bombers answer the challenge? Remember, they were up by 10. They're now down 31-27 with just over 5 minutes to play.
Yeah, and definitely go back to Roberts. He's the guy you got to go to. But now you also, Glenn has confidence because he's completed some big passes in the second half, and your receiving core is into the game. They got to step up and make a big play here on 2nd and 4.
Big hole right side, but flags are down. The whistle stops the play. And it's procedure.
Well, they had a huge hole there because the defensive line had pushed over to the right-hand side.
Procedure. Winnipeg 69, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
So Wilson at right tackle moving a little bit early. And now they're in a tough spot where they've converted a couple 2nd and 10s by handing off to Roberts, but you're really taking a chance right here. With my little arrow at the end, you just see him flinch a little bit. And again, he's worried about Chuck Roberts there. Chuck
From
Winters.
the 24, it is 2nd and 9. Glenn, pass complete to Stoddard. Stoddard lost the ball, but I think he got it back. He was hit hard. And he did well to fall back onto the ball.
Yeah, what a big-time throw by Kevin Glenn. And Stoddard hasn't caught a ball all day. And then they go to him, and he's got to make this huge catch with 4 minutes left in the game, down by 3, down by 4. And there's Chuck Winters again, causing a fumble.
A 12-yard pickup. 1st and 10, Winnipeg from their own 36-yard line. 3:46 to play. Again, the last 2 or 3 yards of that play was all Charles Roberts.
It was, and his carries are deep into the high 20s now, and we talked about his durability. 303 carries on the year, and he seems to just get better the more times he touches the ball, but he's got to be tired at this point.
He was asked yesterday, how many carries would you like? And he said, are you kidding? I'm a running back. I'll take as many as I can get.
Oh, he's getting them.
2nd and 3 for Winnipeg from the 43. Roberts into the pile. Did the Argos stop him short?
Absolutely, they stopped him short. We're going to get the 3-minute warning here, so time to think about a 3rd and 2, Will, where there is a decision to be made here. Because there's still time with 3 minutes if you punt it away.
31-27 to score. 3 minutes to play in the East Semi.
Now when you stay at Ramada Canada, you'll earn points towards the things you really want with the largest hotel rewards program ever. Trip Rewards. It gives you more rewards more often for more fun. Ramada. Sweet dreams.
The toughest in the land deserves the toughest truck. Vote for the Warrior of the Year. GMC and CBC want to know who you think should be this year's Warrior. Log on to cbc.ca/warrior and vote for the player tough enough to win a truck. Win one for yourself. Log on to newsierra.gmcanada.com for a chance to win an all-new 2007 GMC Sierra. But like any Warrior, you can't win if you don't play. Log on now.
Now when you stay at Ramada Canada, you'll earn points towards the things you really want with the largest hotel rewards program ever. Trip Rewards. It gives you more rewards more often for more fun. Ramada. Sweet dreams.
Hey, Chris, what's up?
It is with heavy heart that I must resign my position as a sandwich artist.
You're kidding, right? You can't leave. You're my guy, right?
Employees aren't eligible for the good stuff giveaway.
Chris, it's just a contest.
Set me free, Gary.
Wow.
The Good Stuff Giveaway. It's your chance to win cars, trips, electronics, and other good stuff. Visit freshenergy.com to enter.
Welcome back to the Scotiabank East semifinal. It is third and about a yard and a half, maybe 2 yards to the Bombers. They've elected not to gamble. Troy Westward is on to punt. The punt will come from the 35-yard line. The clock is running, 2:47 to play. Keith Stokes. And Stokes is pushed out of bounds at about 36, 37-yard line. Let's revisit the Rona game notes.
Ooh, what a game. Offensively, Charles in charge, and he has been in charge, but that fumble's big for sure, but 168 yards and 2 TDs, heck of a game. The Great Walls of Canada, they've gotten pressure on the Argo quarterbacks, but only one sack to tally up for the combination. You know, Winnipeg, by punting that, you've taken control of the game out of your hands. I mean, the Argos can conceivably control the ball and win the football game if they keep getting first downs.
Michael Bishop in as the backup behind Damon Allen, and he has made the difference. This is John Avery. Avery's got room. Cuts it back. Not risking going near the sidelines that time around.
That's a veteran running back. You know, if you step out of bounds, yeah, it's a great game, but you stop the clock. You cut it back up. Not only are you chewing up clock, but now the clock keeps running. There's no stopping it when you go out of bounds. Very, very conscious decision right here. He's like, out of bounds? I don't think so. I'll cut it back in.
Clock is running now. 2:20 remaining to play, fourth quarter. Argos leading 31-27. Bishop.
Wow.
It was the quick out intended for Talbot.
Just doesn't make sense at all. That play doesn't make sense. You know, you just ran the ball well. Why even take a chance throwing it? Because you could have just worked the clock. You could have sealed the game with the run game. Now you've stopped it, and it almost got picked and went the other way.
Nobody is leaving the Rogers Center in Toronto. This has been back and forth all game. Argos lead 31-27. 2:11 remaining on the clock. Bishop dropping deep, screen to Williams, and Williams can hang on. They rule it dead.
Those were two calls by the Argos. I don't know if they'll regret it at the end because they may get the victory, but you've been so successful if you do throw the ball in this situation, putting Williams out in the pass route, on out routes, and getting them open in one-on-one with McKinley, and then throwing it on first down just didn't make sense right after you picked up big yardage running the football. So Winnipeg's going to get their chance, right? They punted away. Now they're going to get the ball back and have an opportunity.
And if ever you needed a big punt from the best kicker in the league, Noel Prefontaine, now is the time. Prefontaine will get the punt away from the 50. It's not a good one.
Nope.
It's a bad punt from Prefontaine, but it does roll out of bounds. Let's check the Toronto Rona game notes.
Well, I like it. The defensive one I'm going to love, but offensively for the Argos, running on empty. We thought they needed a big running game today, and Williams and Avery have run fairly well, 117 yards. Bishop, really the big story. Defensively, long, cold winter. Chuck Winters came up huge, in for Antonio Bonner today, forcing the fumble in the fourth quarter on Roberts, which gave him the go-ahead touchdown.
1:57 to play. Bombers have the ball. 1st and 10 from their own 26-yard line. They're down by 4. 5 receivers set. Glenn completes to Franklin. And Franklin stopped short of the 35-yard line.
Nice job by Kevin Glenn. Now, you know, they've been in the 2 tight ends the whole game. They're spreading people out, and he puts it on the money. Important to understand, they're down 4 points, so a field goal does nothing. They need a touchdown, and they have 1:51 to get it done.
And they've got a long way to go. 2nd and 2 from their own 34. Glenn out of the shotgun. Play action. Completes it to Brazel. And Brazel goes out of bounds, stops the clock with 1:39 to play, but he gets the first down.
He does get the first down. And Kevin Glenn, boy, he's been money in the second half. He struggled desperately in the first half. 2 for 8 for only 40 yards, but he's come alive, and that's given him the confidence to be put in this position and to be able to move the football.
He wasn't too bad passing in the opening quarter, but he went to sleep in the second and third quarters, and he's really come alive in the fourth quarter with the arm. 1st and 10, Winnipeg from their 45. 1:39 to play, fourth quarter. Another rifle shot from Glenn to Derek Armstrong, and Kevin Glenn is down.
Well, he's got
Make that Roberts.
You got to get up and get ready and get set, because they're going to start this clock pretty quickly. But again, attacking that weak side of match coverage by the Argos, I always think that's the best way to attack them. Into the boundary.
They need 2 yards for the first down. The ball's been spotted at the 53-yard line. Clock is running, 1:25. Roberts with a hole. Winters with the grab and pulling Roberts down.
I was going to say, you got more than enough time to go back to Roberts and sprinkle some runs in here. You don't have to throw it every time. And here they go. Roberts off the right side, and Winters again, who caused the fumble on Roberts earlier. But now they're on the 48-yard line. They got 1:14 left, and again, down by 4, so they need the touchdown.
1st and 10. The backfield is empty. Glenn through the middle, completes. Down just outside the 30-yard line.
There's Milt Stegall.
R.J. Franklin. Make that Stegall.
Yeah, Milt Stegall right there.
Gavin Walls has the mic on.
Mic'd up. Brought to you by Rogers Wireless, Canada's clearest wireless network.
Get a prayer in, dog. Time to get a prayer in, man.
Less than a minute to play. Kevin Glenn goes safely to the sidelines to stop the clock. Completes to Derek Armstrong. 48 seconds remaining to play. The Bombers down by 4. They need the major score.
Right, and again, they're on the right hash. So they're attacking the Argos secondary into the boundary on the right side when they're on the right hash. And they've been successful with it. What a great drive they put together at this point. But what are the Argos known for? Bending and not breaking. Let's see if that holds true here.
2nd and 5, Winnipeg from the Argos 26. 48 seconds to play, fourth quarter. Empty backfield. Glenn. Intercepted Argos! This one should be history or just at the right time.
Well, that's it. And I'll tell you what. They came out and played man-to-man with no free safety in the middle of the field. Winnipeg needed someone to go right down the middle, and they didn't. They played right into the Argos defense by going short. Look, no free safety all the way back here, and no one takes that spot. They just slant right in the middle, both Roberts and Brazel. I'll tell you, I've seen Milt Stegall go up that seam 100 times from that position in tight, and no one took the middle on that play. And you know what? A great play by Steinhauer, but someone's got to convert that route and go down the middle of the field because there's no free safety. And you got a real good chance to score a touchdown.
Second interception for Kevin Glenn. But that was the one that hurt. That may have been the one that drove the nail in the Bombers' hopes of advancing to the Grey Cup in Winnipeg. And you have to feel sorry for that man, Milt Stegall.
He had a big catch in the final drive. He had the 60-yarder in the third quarter. But I think that, I mean, if he was that receiver, the closest one to the quarterback, where it was Roberts and where it was Brazel, if that was Milt Stegall, you would have seen him go down the middle of the field, recognize no free safety, and take advantage of it. But instead, you had a running back, Roberts, there, who doesn't recognize that coverage and just did the quick slant.
So now the Argos have got to figure out a way of killing 44 seconds, which shouldn't be tough. They lead by 4. They just got to keep it out of the hands of the Blue Bombers. Williams does a little dancing at the line, hangs onto the ball. He's got 2 hands on it. It's not about to come loose.
Well, the Argos used that first timeout, which was strange. So Winnipeg has a timeout to use, which I think they'll use right now.
Well, this is when you need your ball hawk somehow to get in there and punch it free. You've got to get possession of the ball.
That's right, because if they work the clock well enough, they'll run out the clock using 20 seconds both times.
It's been a good one. Very entertaining.
It's been a great football game. Both teams have played well enough to win.
Bishop. That's a draw. And Bishop is going to keep this one in his own hands.
So now it's 3rd down, which means, I take everything back, Winnipeg is going to get the ball back. It'd be interesting to see whether Toronto takes the safety or do they just punt it away and give Winnipeg a chance. Yeah, if you did take the safety, then it would be down to 2. So if Winnipeg got the ball back, a field goal would end up winning it. Where now they need that major, they need the touchdown. So I would think they just punt it away.
Prefontaine coming off a punt of just over 20 yards. So
right, he missed that one, but you'll see him use most all the play clock. So he'll just stand back there, let the play clock run down to 1 or 2, and punt it away with about 13 seconds left, 14 seconds.
He's got an eye on the clock. That's a good one. Albert Johnson III. He's got to get out of bounds and stop the clock. He doesn't.
Game's over.
That's a mistake right there. They may have had one more play. This one is over. The Argos defeating the Blue Bombers 31-27. So it's the Argos who go to Montreal to face the Alouettes in the Scotiabank East Final next Sunday at the Olympic Stadium in Montreal. A very entertaining football game in front of a very noisy crowd here at the Rogers Center this afternoon to see the Argos beat the Bombers 31-27.
The Scotiabank semifinals on CBC are brought to you by Scotiabank, proud to cheer on the CFL.
Okay, who took my pudding?
Thanks a lot, Barry. Team player.
The 2007 Nissan Murano. With a 240 horsepower V6 engine, great style, SUV capability, and a smooth shifting, continuously variable transmission that enhances fuel economy. Wherever adventure takes you, be it uptown or out of town, the Nissan Murano will get you there.
Excuse me.
Yes.
We're looking for a...
You're the best dad ever! Well, this is a how did you know? And there is the this is totally awesome! And best dad ever. Ah, right there.
Oh, it's right beside the. Oh my God! Oh my God, I love it!
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem.
This holiday, discover the wow at Best Buy, because this week, all flat panel TVs are on sale. Best Buy.
Are you serious about winter safety? Watch this. Don't try this at home.
All right, we're about 10 minutes away from kickoff in Calgary. What a game. The CFL has waited for games like this all year, and in the playoffs, it gets a great one. Our warrior of the game is voted by you. 30 carries, 176 yards, and 2 touchdowns, Charles Roberts. But I'm willing to bet that Charles Roberts, when he's asked about it post-game, will talk more about the fumble, the one that allowed the Argonauts to take the lead for good late in the game. But up until then, Roberts was great. He deserves, for the most part, the nomination.
Warrior of the Game, brought to you by the all-new 2007 GMC Sierra.
Who finished second to him in the voting was Michael Bishop of Kansas State. Today, Bishop is the hero over Williams.
The Scotiabank semifinals on CBC are brought to you by Scotiabank, proud to cheer on the CFL. By Future Shop, Canada's #1 destination for big screen TVs. And by the all-new 2007 GMC Sierra, professional grade.
So the game last night, Mike?
Yeah.
Like 20-point comeback?
In the fourth quarter.
In the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I cannot believe it. It's been some kind of a pep talk now. Hold on. Okay, yeah, okay. Whoop.
You got to dive for those.
I'm not diving.
This is carpet.
Welcome back to Ask an Expert. Jordan from Halifax writes, my hard drive just crashed with all my files on it. What can I do? Don't worry. All you need to do to recover your data is...
Breaking news, it's the Sony sales event at Future Shop, where lots of Sony products are on sale at incredible prices. Plus, enter to win the ultimate Sony HD home theater package.
Be sure to follow those 4 crucial steps, and you'll get your files back.
Future Shop, helping Canadians connect.
Fair weather in the foothills and a fast track for football. Await Game 2 on semi-final Sunday. This is the CFL on CBC in HD.